Oh, my OBS didn't switch.
So, are you there as well? Then I guess we can start.
Yes, I'm here.
Alright then, so welcome everyone. Damage Red here. I'm being joined by Nobody41. And this is the fourth week of MSC. And in this matchup we have Villese versus Vivi on Bog Arabia, Franks and Vikings.
Yeah, in the bottom left, we have Villese in red as the Franks. In the top right, we have Fat Dragon, Vivi, playing as the Vikings. And already we're seeing the Franks being used right away. That was, I think, the best civilization for deathmatch for Villese. The only other options he has legitimately would be Slavs or the... No, was it Slavs? I'm not actually sure, because I wasn't expecting Franks to be used. I thought that was going to be the deathmatch civilization.
Yeah, he had Franks and Huns, so I think he's going to choose
maybe Huns.
Yeah, probably that's the idea. But we'll see how well that's going to go. Yeah, as you said, Franks are really straightforward there, but Huns also have their perks. We'll see. For now, we got Franks and Vikings, and I'm not so sure if I like this matchup. Those are totally different approaches here. With the Vikings, it's straightforward. It's going to be the same thing that we've seen in this tournament all over again. A lot of pressure, maybe even some fuel age pressure, and the castle age will be about the longbows. And that is going to be devastating if it's, of course, done correctly, and if you just allow everything, if your opponent allows you to go there. So maybe Villese wants to build up some fuel age pressure with some scouts, and maybe some forward dock. We're all gonna check out, but like I said, Vivi could have the upper hand.
Yeah, normally in a land battle, you probably see scouts from the Franks, and the Vikings would probably men-at-arms rush, wall up, and do some archer ranges. Their playstyle is not too much different, as I think they're still going to have to wall up if they're going to go for their galleys, since they build so slow. So I expect the Franks to go for a more open style, and the Vikings would probably go for a more walling style. However, this map is so open that I think maybe the Franks might have an advantage, but then again, with the Vikings, you have that versatility of you can go archers, you can go water units, and look at the scout!
Oh my god, man! Oh, we didn't kill. What?
No!
One more second, man. What the? Okay. That was some mercy, I guess. I don't know how to call it, but okay, that happened.
Oh, what a mistake from Villese not killing the scout accidentally, and a mistake from Vivi, of course, almost losing the scout. And look how ballsy this is. This is 3 HP on this scout. One hit's gonna kill it. That was terrible. But the villager's gonna die. Oh my god! What were the chances of this?
Why, dudes? Why? As if, I mean, I'm so sorry we are observers and everything is so easy for us to say, but wasn't that actually kind of simple what you should have done as Villese here after killing the scout? Just click once again and, you know, drag the villager to the TC?
Yeah, of course. That was just a series of mistakes by both players, maybe 2 mistakes each within the course of a minute. Man, that was a crazy minute, and at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, things turned out pretty even. Villese has also lost a huge amount of HP on his scout. I do wonder why, but he's going to go around. Give me 1 second.
Sure. I mean, that's interesting. So Timo says it was Vivi lag, maybe. Laura says Villese was bugged, maybe even. It could be. It seemed really strange, the reaction of the villager of Villese. That's for certain. Maybe he's even raging at this point. I would totally understand. It seemed avoidable, but I'm not so sure if it was maybe partly due to lag. I mean, we have to keep in mind this is Finland vs China here, and I heard that there's quite some lag in that very constellation, so it could very well be. We'll check it out. Alright then.
Yes, I heard everything you said, and it looks like 3 villagers are going to go to gold for Vivi, and he's also going to make a few militia. Meanwhile, Villese is just going to go for scouts and is walling his base, so we said the Franks can play an open style. Well, you know, if you want, you could also wall it up, and that's usually a smart option as well.
Yeah, but it's quite early. He does actually a 20 pop, I guess. He has 18 villagers now, he should have had 19, so this is a very tight build order of him. I fully understand. because he wants to build up pressure as soon as possible. But Vivi with men-at-arms, probably even, yeah, well, we'll see if it's going to be into archers. He has 3 vills on gold, could be also just for the sake of the dog, we'll see. But then, more curious about what the scouts are going to do in a second. The soon-to-be men-at-arms of Vivi are going to arrive.
This is 4. This is going to be 4 men-at-arms from Fat Dragon. This is not going to be easy to take care of. These men-at-arms will try to batter their way through the palisade walls. They will have the extra HP in case those scouts do want to engage. Of course, both civilizations get an HP bonus for their units now.
Exactly. That's so good.
It's going to be impossible for Villese to engage these men-at-arms head-on, especially with that weak scout.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really tough. This one scout that he has, he needs to use it just to scout, as in to analyze where Vivi is basically going. And as we can see, Vivi now taking this huge detour, very much needed though, to go to the left-hand side. But Villese also with some nice walls there to protect himself against the men-at-arms, and everything seems to be under control.
It's not. Is it? Oh.
Is it open?
Oh, it is closed. Oh,
it looks so strange. Is that the piece of wood? Yeah, rainforest tree. Alright, I got you. Okay, so there are 4 scouts already by Villese. He will be able to dive in very soon, but he needs to be careful because, as I said, 4 men-at-arms, tanky men-at-arms, 50 HP. A tough one.
Well, what Fat Dragon doesn't see is that he could go towards the south, towards that lumber line, which Villese still hasn't walled up. There's 1 idle villager on the lumber line, so these men-at-arms already doing some economic damage. Let's see if Villese is actually going to engage these 4 Viking men-at-arms.
Yeah. Now the scouts are engaging. There we go. Careful now. This one scout is very vulnerable. But as you said, both have this HP bonus. It will be a nice one to see if they really engage. But Vivi doesn't care too much about it. He now goes back even. As in, I'm sure that he wants to do something else, because something that's is very important to mention is that there's this one tower with 2 villagers inside, already harassing Vivi's woodline there inside of his base. That's a nice one. That's a really damaging move of Villese.
This is a huge move from Villese. This was Fat Dragon's only wood line, and he's going to spend 100 wood, going to move all these villagers to the right side. It's going to be so many resources lost. That's such a great tower from Villese. Kind of risky one at the same time, but wow, that's just a crazy move that only that Villese made, and that's really great.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, as you said, the woodline situation for Vivi is already bad. So it was well done by Villese to understand the situation, to actually say, alright, that is a worthy tower to put it there. And as we see, Vivi is severely hurt. Now tries to build up pressure more with a feudal age composition with archers and spearmen. Nice way to actually tell Villese's army to move back, but he doesn't care. Now dives in because he has a huge number of scouts, 6 to be precise, now 5. Engaging 4 scouts left, but still fighting. And it seems that Vivi will lose his entire army by the looks of it. As long as these archers also run around without fletching, it will not work that easily. And it seems that Villese will gain map control.
Yeah, 1 more spearman for Fat Dragon in that composition, and maybe he could have taken that fight, but Villese is going to take that fight and going to push himself out across the map. I'm liking Villese's position from all that economic damage he did with the tower. Even still, Fat Dragon's lumber line is horribly inefficient. And
oh yeah, oh my god, man. Wow. Look at these villagers just clashing with the spearmen even. Now this looks awful. And now Villese does the right thing. Doesn't bother too much with the army of Vivi anymore, but just goes in, tries to harass a couple of vills. If he would be able to spot this woodline on the right hand side, he would kill so many vills. But maybe now he's gonna pick a vill or not. Still waiting. He does the right thing in my opinion by not attacking yet Villese. But he's moving and moving. He comes close to the woodline on the right hand side, which will force Vivi to actually do something about it. Vivi himself is now harassing the woodline of Villese, but Villese has saved himself with the tower. The situation seems to be equal now when it comes to the danger.
Yeah, villager number, it's 38 versus 34. The Vikings already have wheelbarrow established. So that's actually kind of a good economy lead for Fat Dragon. I kind of wonder why that difference is so, because we haven't seen so many villagers down. I think that villager in the bottom, look at the bottom.
Oh, it's open! Oh, overchopped, man. Someone just overchopped. And Villese now suffers a lot. Needs to move back. He loses 1 villager. And that's, of course, easily done with fletching on Vivi's side. Those are retreating to the TC. Even another villager dying. Wow. As you said, it was already striking. There was a 4 villager difference without wheelbarrow. That is a strange one. Of course, Vivi gets a wheelbarrow for free and whatnot, but this is still, for me, not justifiable, to be honest. And now it's even a huger difference. We're talking about 7 villagers at the moment, man.
Yeah, this economy difference is pretty crazy. We just saw 3 villagers die within the last minute, or a minute or two from this raid of Fat Dragon. Now Fat Dragon's going to try to get away, might lose a lot of his army. And at the same time, Fat Dragon's only building off of 1 archery range. He's going very defensive with a bunch of stone. Perhaps Villese might have a military advantage here, but he's going to have to do something with it very quickly because I think that Fat Dragon's about to go up to the next stage.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even the villagers at Vilese's tower, this offensive tower that's Knight the Woodline for Vivi, they died, I guess. I saw a skeleton there, at least 1. So he did lose a lot here. 9 villagers now, the difference, but that's also because Vivi has clicked up and Villese is now going for wheelbarrow. Well, that's gonna be hurtful. Ask myself, looking at Vilese's food count here, he will be able to click up himself very soon as well. So it will not be a cast stage GG, I guess, but as you said, he needs to hurry up. Vivi in the next stage will be really tough to deal with because he has the Vikings, he can go for crossbowmen, he could even go for longbows. Everything's possible with the Vikings on this very map. This will be a tough one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the big mistakes of Villese was not adding the archery range earlier to add skirmishers early. Maybe if he was able to add skirmishers to his scouts, he would have been able to push more and attack the second lumber line or attack the gold even.
Yeah, you're right. There are things they should have done here. Villese is now clicking up. We have a difference of 1 minute, 40 seconds. That's quite a lot, especially Vivi can make use of this. Just trying to understand what he's gonna do. He even adds a stable now, Vivi. So that is an interesting one. Maybe just a couple of tanky knights to put it in front of his main army. I mean, he is still producing archers, so that's definitely gonna be crossbowmen with maybe a couple of knights to deal with the skirmishes. And that will be enough to deal with Villese, at least for now. He needs to hurry up.
Yeah, luckily Fat Dragon did have to build another tower, so that's good. And also the archers are having to stay at home. I'm not sure if they should stay at home, actually. I think they should definitely move out and try to do the damage now. But regardless, Villese is going to be into the castle age by the time these crossbows get upgraded. And Villese is going to go super heavy into knights, I bet. And Fat Dragon could probably add some town centers behind this with his great economy.
Yeah, definitely. If he adds a couple of town centers, he will just boom away. And it will be tough for Villese to catch up. So, as I said, the crossbows are there. Bodkin arrow as well. This will be a tough one. What is Villese gonna do about it? Of course, he needs to make use with his knights. That's always the thing with the Franks. They need to address issues with crossbows most of the times with their knights. At least knights are always a part of this composition then. But yeah, is that gonna solve everything now? Because this army of crossbows is quite huge, gotta say, and more crossbows are going to be made. Not yet. Just knights, more knights of Vivi as well as a monastery. He's preparing for the incoming cavalry of Villese.
And I love this move from Vivi. Vivi adding a few knights just as we see Elite Skirmisher being upgraded for Villese. So Fat Dragon being 1 step ahead. I wouldn't normally have added knights here, but he's probably seeing all these skirmishers. And that's going to be a very good move, especially right here. This could be the end of the game if Fat Dragon wins it.
If he wins it, for sure, because the knights are already a pain in the behind. And Vilese's knights trying to deal with the situation. Vivi does a great thing by actually retreating on this hill at least. He knows that there are a lot of skirmishers that he needs to kill first of all. No need to rush here, he says. Trying to take out these skirmishers, and once that is done, the crossbows can move back again. Interesting that they go back to the monastery just to make sure that the knights of Villese can be even converted if it needs to be done. But it seems that Villese now left alone and in the middle of the map.
And once again, Fat Dragon 1 step ahead, already has the monastery out.
Yeah, for sure. That will be really nice because I guess Villese doesn't know about this. Yep, he sure has no idea. And the great thing about this one is that Vivi is able to actually go for this because he has a superior economy, he has a lot of income, and therefore he's able to afford such a diverse army composition whereas Villese is stuck with a rather conventional one. We have knights and, well, skirmishes, a lot of food that is going to be required with this one, but he does his best and now wants to attack from the left-hand side.
Alright, if you're Villese, you have to do the damage now. It's 3 town centers versus 1 town center. You're going to be down about 20 villagers in just a minute. And you need to find some damage, kill some villagers, kill the army, and perhaps go forward with the siege workshop after you've taken a victory. But time is running out for Villese.
Exactly. You pointed out something extremely important. 1 TC for Villese. He has clicked up later than his opponent. He is on a single TC. He does the right thing by attacking now. But as I said, he needs to get the victory and the siege workshop up to build up more pressure from that one. But instead, he now adds another TC back at home.
Yeah, and Villese just sitting here with his army in the middle of the map. Can't attack towards that TC and tower. Can't attack on the right side because the army's there, and Fat Dragon's army is still so good. Villese is going to build up one more time. Going to add another town center, maybe buy himself just a little bit more time. But it's getting pretty tough for Villese.
Yeah, for sure, man. We're talking about 46 villagers versus 62. And also, of course, hand cards is there for the Vikings player. And yeah, it's going to be really tough to do something about this. Vivi even going for pikemen now, because he understands that he needs to have some kind of unit that will force the knights to retreat here, because it could be a bad fight for them if they engaged. But nice situation now for Villese. He could do something with this, with his army to the right-hand side. He would appreciate to see a villager moving forward, and then adding a siege workshop like that, even though he needs to be careful. But yeah, he at least keeps Vivi busy, at least tied him. Let's see where it goes.
Villese killing one villager here, 1 villager there. I think Villese is kind of feeling, Fat Dragon's letting me raid a little bit. He must not have a very strong army. I'm going to go forward with the siege workshop. I feel like it's time.
Yeah, that would be the most ideal thing, and indeed it's happening. The siege workshop in the making, and a lot of knights on the right-hand side, but also quite some monks over here. Quite some monks. And you need to be extremely careful not to lose them. The skirmishers won't be able to kill them right away, and as long as they're close to the TC, they will be somewhat safe. Crossbows are now approaching as well. The fight now completely on the right-hand side, but I'm not so sure if Villese is that determined to engage. He knows that he could lose his army, but he also knows that he must not lose his army.
We've been talking a lot about all the advantages that Fat Dragon has, how Villese's time is running out. However, one thing that I think we have to mention is that tower on the left is still extremely useful, and Fat Dragon has been letting Villese raid just a little bit because I don't think he thinks he has the army. That wood line on the right was Fat Dragon's only wood line, so that really really hurt his wood income, that last raid.
Yeah, for sure. It was extreme. I mean, the wood line itself is already hurtful because it is still super inefficient. But yeah, as you said, the raid was good, and more stuff is happening. The knights don't care about the monks too much. There was a conversion or 2, or maybe 3. He was able to kill a couple of monks in return. That's good, but Villese now needs to retreat for sure. He's about to lose his entire army like that. And also the pikemen that will engage very soon, they have +1. So it's going to be a bit of a tough one for Villese to do something about it. What he requires now is actually an army composition that will push Vivi back, and that's not solely done just with mangonels. So inside of the siege workshop, he even prepares a scorpion.
Yeah, he's going to need as much siege as he can. He's probably going to have to require a few lucky shots to be able to bring this back. A lot of the monks going down, but they did get their conversions, and that's how monks work. So they're fairly strong, and now Fat Dragon has a shield of pikemen in front, so we'll have to see a lot of scorpions or even more elite skirmishers.
Oh yeah, we have this engagement now. The trashers are being sacrificed. They do kill 2 and 3 knights. That was a bad fight for Villese so far, trading badly here. Nice army of Vivi. It could be once again a GG situation if Vivi succeed with this push. He's gonna go inside. One mangonel is in the making. Oh, that was a nice shot on those crossbowmen though. But he needs more than that. Mangonel is down. I guess all of the army is now gonna crumble. Tough one. Vivi could push through.
And I think this is the game. I think Villese has lost his momentum as he's lost his army. And once you lose your momentum and you're 25 villagers behind, that's usually the game.
That's usually the game. If you're up with 2 military units versus 34, and as you said, this huge discrepancy in economy, it is GG. Well done by Vivi.
Yeah, well done by Vivi. I liked his Civ choice, the way he played his Civ. In the early game was fairly even. I love the tower from Villese, but I think this game just went downhill because Villese maybe forgot to build villagers or mismanaged his economy. That's something that you have to get even as an intermediate player to build villagers all the
Yeah.
time. And if you don't do that as an expert player, it can cost you a game.
That's for certain. That was really hurtful. He started off well, but then it got weaker and weaker. He still tried to go for the right decisions. With the push, he was on the single TC. That was already a risky one, but he understood that he probably has no other chance anymore. But in the end, Vivi just played it correctly. Despite having a super bad map with the wood line, was able to survive and push back adequately. And that was his first win. It's a best of 5. Excited for the next game.
Yes, absolutely. Next game will be
Insane. Man. Dude, if a game starts like that, man, I don't know what to expect from the later parts, because if it's gonna start just as exciting, man, what kind of pressure is that early in the game? That was legit the first action, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. So we got Spanish and Japanese. That's even more of a surprising one, I say.
And also, Villese stealing some of the water buffalo. Man, this is a crazy start to the game.
Successfully stealing 4 water buffaloes, it seems. The villagers are chasing it.
And the villager's going to grab back 2, but does the villager doesn't have loom. But I
Yeah,
think
but the scout is also low HP, so I'm not so sure what exactly Villese is going to do with that.
oh man,
That's quite some idle time as well.
yeah, it is quite a bit of idle time.
Yeah.
And Villese is going to get out of there. Probably going to save his scout. But Villese did steal one of the water buffalo. A lot of idle time for Fat Dragon. Who do you think is coming out on top in this early part of the
I
game?
think Villese did a great job here. I think that Vivi was not able to create that much of idle time with his early approach. And on top of this one, Villese is even able to keep his scout alive. I think that was better for him. Definitely, because this one single villager of Vivi was wasted for a long time. At least that's how I'm feeling about this.
And then Vivi picking the Spanish this matchup. So he's picked the Spanish. He's picked the Vikings.
Yeah, I was going to say. It says I don't like the Spanish pick here. I'm also not so sure. I don't like it for the reason because I would love to see the Spanish on another map. But you know what? What is Vivi actually doing here? Can you tell me this? What is he doing with these villages, man?
Trying to wall in the wood line, I think.
Toxic, man.
And
Okay,
I have to say, why not? The boulder on the left really helps. That's crazy.
But look at Vilese's answer, man. He's now blocking the road for these villages. Wow. Dude, this looks like a nomad game. What is this?
Yeah, this game reminds me of the game where Vivi played the Viper on Nomad, and they ended up deleting their town centers multiple times.
I mean, that could happen as well. I'm glad that no one chose Persians here. But nevertheless, this is insane, man.
This is
and
quite
also-
disruptive to, I think, Villese's economy.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. Look at what Villese is doing currently. He has 2 villagers fighting off the villas of Vivi. 2 more villagers trying to... on it. Just one villager trying to take down the palisade. 1 villager already dead for Villese a few seconds ago. Died that to the south. And it seems that 5 villas at least by Villese are being kept busy by 2 or 3 by Vivi. So Vivi is trading way better here, I guess. Definitely, I guess. I mean, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You would think, though, as Villese playing as the Japanese, he would have enough wood to rebuild a lumber line. But apparently not the case.
Ah, this is insane. I mean, it still hasn't stopped, did it? Oh, okay, Villese is now retreating here, but... oh my god, man, what a start. What a start. I mean... so much early game pressure, Dark Age pressure. Love it, because we don't see it too often, especially in tournaments. Most of the times just in normal tournaments, but this is nice. And yeah, this, as you said, this boulder of on Villese's left-hand side there of the lumber camp is really helpful because another palisade, and you see what kind of inefficient woodline Villese currently has on the right-hand side to the lumber camp. What is this?
It's a horrible wood line. I wonder why Villese doesn't rebuild his lumber line. I guess he's spending all of his wood on his fishing ships. Maybe Fat Dragon would know that, that Villese would be so low on wood for that reason. Certainly Fat Dragon's economy is in a much better place. I expect him to click up actually a little bit earlier because of that. And that's kind of crazy. Spanish against Japanese, and the Spanish player might click up earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely correct with that one. I mean, it's true. I mean, actually, Villese could have just replaced the Lumber Camp, but yeah, he didn't.
Look at Fat Dragon, though. Because Fat Dragon's down one Water Buffalo would be so nice right now. The one that was stolen. But instead, now Fat Dragon's going to have to saturate berries with like 15 villagers.
Yeah, that's insane. That's legit 14 villagers at this point. That's crazy. Oh my god, man. Oh yeah, it's not a good start for Villese. Vivi was at least, let's say, slowed down a tiny bit with this Water Buffalo, but besides that, I still think that he will be up very soon. There we go. Villese was able to click up earlier. We're talking about 4 seconds here. It is 26 vills versus 24 though. Vivi with a 2 villager lead and 5 fishing boats vs 4 fishing boats. So Vivi even having 1 more fishing boat at this point.
Yeah, and Villese going to stone and gold with a ton of villagers, so we'll make some galleys. Probably we'll make some defensive towers. I don't see any villagers coming forward. You have to expect that your opponent, Fat Dragon, is probably going to go for some towers of his own. He's playing as the Spanish, but I don't think we see that so far, as we see some gold miners going out. Oh, and there we go, stone miners on the left.
Exactly, that's 2 stone miners now for Vivi on the left-hand side, and we also have 2 stone miners for Villese on the right-hand side. Seems like they have equal plans, at least to a certain extent, but I'm more curious about what Vivi is going to do, because I think with these 5 villagers, he has a specific plan, and I can smell something, and that is a huge, long building shooting arrows at a frequent rate. That is going to be towers, I guess. Well, let's see how that's going to go, because it's going to happen right now, I guess.
And Villese getting Town Watch right away, in addition to adding a bunch of outposts. Here comes the first 2 towers of our players. Of course, the Spanish get their building bonus.
Yeah.
But Fat Dragon's going to move around to try to find another side.
Oh my god, man. He's doing it right now, but I think Villese sees that one easily. Yep, he does, but he doesn't do anything about it, interestingly. Why doesn't he react? Okay, now he's retreating, I guess, isn't he? Yeah, he's now moving away. So that's good for Vivi.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I think if you wanted to counter the first tower, then why not counter the second tower? Maybe Villese maybe his attention was somewhere else for those first few crucial seconds. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be, because as I said, there are no more reasons to react like that. So interesting. I mean, Vivi is still gonna move forward here. Villese does something smart, at least. That is the tower to protect his other wood line. There are 2 towers here in the middle of the map now, shooting at each other, or at least Villese is trying to take down Vivi's tower here. And we have water as well. We see 5 wolves now being chased by 2 fire gullies.
Yeah, those villagers need to get back on the land as fast as they can. This could be a very bad position for Fat Dragon if he's not able to save these villagers.
Yeah, well, he at least he's able to bring them on the land, but this one villager on the south is in danger with 5 HP left. And there's even one villager walking beneath TC like it's nothing. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a chaotic game to begin with. The villager is down, okay, 1 villager died of the 5. And once again, the villagers are on a dangerous terrain now, because the Japanese fire galleys now trying their best to take them down. It seems quite successful, man. Oh my god, and all the villagers are dying. Now, just 1 villager has survived.
And Villese is going to take a very big villager lead because of that. Back on water, looks like Villese has a good presence on water. Fat Dragon has a lesser presence. Both players still getting fish. Both players banking up stone. But a lot of villagers lost for Fat Dragon. And, yeah, Villese is going to have an early lead.
Yeah, but also Villese has now spent so much idle time for these 4 villagers. I'm not so sure if it's completely worth it to chase them like that with these vills. Seems a bit like an overkill, but maybe he can now use them to place his own towers somewhere. And that's exactly what's going to happen, maybe? Because they don't move back. Yep, seems like it. Guess Villese is going to drop more towers by himself on the south of the map or something.
Yeah, and if he does it right now, Fat Dragon doesn't have enough stone to counter quite yet. He's going to have to drop off that stone real quick to get up his tower. And so far, no reaction. And those villagers are just going to run away.
That's the reaction. Just run away at this point. You don't see this fairly often by Vivi to just move away in a situation like that. He's more the type of guy who would then try to attack your tower as long as he can, or build his own tower and stuff like that. But it seems like it's a good situation for Villese because he's about to start controlling the game.
Yeah, on this map, the question is, do you want to be the defensor first or the aggressor? And clearly it seems like Villese, in having a good defense, now he's able to go on the offense with his villagers that came forward.
Yeah, fully agree. It is currently like that, and that is going to be really healthy for him, because so far he's making the best out of it. Question now is, of course, what is the next step, because even the naval situation is quite of a calm one, at least to the right-hand side. Villese is able to clean up the mess, and if we just look at the numbers, there's 6 fire galleys for Villese, 2 for Vivi, 1 more demo ship for the Finnish player. So it seems that even navy-wise, Villese has the upper hand.
At the same time, Villese losing 3 villagers on the tower in the bottom right. Tower at 96%. That was a heavy loss for Villese, and that's going to help even things up. However, Villese still has a very good control on the water, and at least researching wheelbarrow now. So that villager number is not so big anymore because of that big mistake.
That's for sure, man. That was quite a waste. Oh. Wow. So many villagers are just dying here easily. Okay, he's still trying to build the tower. What is he trying to do there, Villese? Oh, he just built it. Okay, that was good. I mean, it is worth it because he now is able to deny another woodline for Vivi here, at least to a certain extent. And I guess it was maybe worth it for him at least to waste 3 villagers like that. Anyway, so that's the current situation, and Vivi even dropping a market now. I guess he's interested in clicking up very soon.
Yeah, with this tower on the right side, that means Fat Dragon most likely is probably going to have to go to the woodline on the left, which is fairly close to the water, and that's probably what Villese wants, considering how dominant Villese has been on the water. However, looks like Fat Dragon's coming back a little bit, and the military numbers are going to even up.
It looks okay. It looks okay. So where can you see how many fishing ships do either one? Curious asked. The fishing ship numbers are here in this, just right on the right hand side to the map here. You see the villager numbers and the fishing boat numbers. And Villese has 13. He has just 4 of Vivi here. That is sick. I also don't see too many farms for Vivi here. Not so convinced by his food income. If we just quickly look at that. Dude, he has 93. 78 food per minute vs 247 per minute for Villese. That's huge. The economy of Villese is working really nicely for him.
Yeah, the Japanese fishing ships are very nice. However, on the other hand, Villese losing the 2 towers on the bottom right, so the wood situation for Fat Dragon is going to be a lot better.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But yeah, both pairs are going for the next stage. Just 8 seconds difference. That is good for both of them, I guess. Stronger economy, I would estimate, on Villese's side when it comes to food. As I said, wood more for Vivi. The question now, of course, is what will they do? And Vivi seems to be interested in more water action as he drops another dock to the south of the main islands. Okay. I would have thought maybe he's gonna drop, I don't know, a castle or something like this, because he also has quite some villages on stone and trying to maximize the efficiency there. Could be that he will even go for navy a bit, but then mostly for the castle and then conquistadors. I know.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be navy and conquistadors, which is going to be a lot of investment, and because that might not be able to go into the economy so much.
Yeah, that's a good question, because for that one, he definitely needs the food income to afford those cogs, as well as some villager production. That's going to be quite taxing. And also, he should think about the position of his castle if it's time for that one. It should be a good one, either to protect himself or to build up aggression. That's going to be extremely meaningful here. And therefore, we'll have to wait and see, because he's going to get it, the castle. Where is he going to drop it now?
Good drop in the front.
Oh yeah, there in the middle. Yep, true. Okay, it's a good position when it comes to starting the pressure. Later on in this game, it could be a bad one because it's downhill and whatnot. But We'll see. Both players are going for War Galley, so Navy is still going to be extremely important.
Yeah, it is an interesting position. I think it's going to be the fastest castle that Fat Dragon can build, which is why he built it there. But alternatively, you could build it on one of the left or right mini islands and basically shut down that whole side.
Yeah. True. That is that. Villese is building a monastery, by the way. Is that going to be his answer to Conquistadors? It's going to be quite a tough one. I'm not a big fan of Kongs versus monks in many of the situations because you need to keep those monks safe. Just to be sure that you can garrison them if needed and whatnot. And especially on water it could be difficult, but then again Villese is the one ruling over the water, so he's probably feeling convenient enough that he says, alright, I'll just go for it. Produce a couple of monks and then we'll see. 2 Kongs now out and about to harass some vills, at least at some point, but he's not there yet.
It's going to be hard for Villese to defend his entire area in the back. It's so spread out that these conquistadors can basically attack from every angle. And I'm just wondering how Villese is going to go aggressive if he has to defend from so many angles.
Not sure if you're just surrounded. I mean, you need, I don't know, 4 towers on each resource just so to protect yourself. Of course, that's not going to be possible. You're right, raiding potential is high, especially if he gets those defensive upgrades on these conquistadors. Then I find it really nice to raid with them, even if there are a couple of towers close by. It's still gonna work. Though, as you said it, Villese might be in a tough situation, but for that one, his answer is just counter aggression with the war galleys.
And now both players doing a ton of damage onto each other. We'll keep an eye on the villager numbers. Right now it's 5 ahead for Fat Dragon.
Yep.
And here comes a lot of conversions. 1 conversion going down.
And the second one?
And yes, wow. 2 down.
That's insane. I wouldn't have thought so. As I said, monks versus Kongs is always a tough one, but if you roll over the water just like that, the Kongs are not able to just go in there and kill the monks, and instead they got converted. That's a huge loss for Vivi. It goes well for Villese currently, because his raid is still somewhat existent, and with that one he will be able to deal more and more damage.
Yeah, I think that Fat Dragon got a little too close to the monks. Maybe he wasn't paying attention to them, so the monks were able to get a head start. And in that case, the monks can be very effective against conquistadors. So Fat Dragon's going to have to remass them and go for another raid.
Now that will be quite sick, quite tough to deal with it for Vivi. I mean, he still has a 5 villager lead, but then again he doesn't have hand cards. Villese does have it, interestingly. So that is something to keep in mind. But other than that, there's still a lot of conquistadors. So Vivi is not feeling too intimidated about it. Still trying to build up pressure. Question of course is where to find these juicy spots to kill the villagers, because he's protecting himself quite nicely with the boats. He has to go to the deep right hand side to kill a couple of villas of Villese, but that can be tough. So instead he focuses a bit in the north, try to harass Villese's food income a bit, but he's gonna run into those monks very soon.
Let's see how this second engagement goes. This could be the game. We see a lot of conversions coming down.
Man.
3 conversions coming down.
Wow. Wow, that was quite fast. 3 comps just convert like that. Heavy losses for Vivi. Really heavy. Therefore, I don't think that he's going to be able to build up pressure in a situation like that. He's still producing more and more Kongs, but I guess he's not able to function with them correctly, because wherever he goes, he either runs into monks or boats. And with low numbers like that, he needs to retreat all the time.
Yeah, often with these games, oftentimes spectators ask kind of, why do players even build monks against conquistadors? Conquistadors are so good against monks. Well, it really involves a bunch of chance, and you really need to pay attention to your units. So both these times, Villese getting those conversions, Villese also booming up on 3 town centers behind this. He's looking to be in a pretty good position.
Yeah, for certain, for certain. He does pay attention to everything currently. And if you just look at the whole map, he has most of it in his hands. I mean, he's controlling it. Whereas Vivi is just sitting in the middle, and he has this little spot on the left-hand side, which is going to be spotted by Villese very soon. And then I guess even those villagers are not safe anymore. At least they can just sit around in the TC and not do anything else besides that. So I think Vivi needs to do something as in I feel that this might be his last chance with the army that he has currently. 7 Conquistadors. And it's now finally leather archer armor, but I think he doesn't do something right now by gaining more map control, it could be over for him.
It could be. I still believe in the Conquistadors. I've seen games where it looks completely over and the Conquistadors get like a 20 villager raid and then it's not. These Conquistadors are very good against ships. They're just not so good against the monks.
Yeah, Vivi knows that, and now he's retreating to the right-hand side. Maybe that's the right decision, because now he could be able to kill a couple of vills if Villese doesn't react adequately, but he does so. Not even a single villager dies at this point. Wow, these conks are just... Dude, they will be killed now.
Where are they going?
They're cornered now.
They're cornered. I think they'll do okay against the galleys, but they're going to have to run past the town center or encounter the monks.
Oh my god, man. What a messed up situation. They're even stuck there where they're inside now. You're right. I mean, they may deal with the war galleys at least somewhat nicely, especially once they get bloodlines. But this may be too late. I don't know.
Some of the Conquistadors going to trade off against the war galleys. The monks are kind of hang back a little bit, but here they come in. And I think that maybe Fat Dragon should start deleting some of these Conquistadors. I don't know.
Well, he's going to be stuck. He won't be able to retreat anymore to escape from that very situation. Monks are there now. Now he's just going to try to YOLO it, I guess. First conversion successful. Dude, he's not even able to kill a single monk here.
Yeah, he would have been better off, as bad as it sounds, to delete those Conquistadors.
Yeah, true, you're right, man. He should have just deleted that. Insane. Well, that is the very situation that we're in. Looking at the villager count once again, Vivi still has a 4 villager lead. But besides that, army numbers, 3 military units for Vivi, 31 for Villese, 20 of which being war galleys, by the way.
Yeah, that's the big number I'm looking at. Because this villager lead is not going to last too much longer for Vivi.
Yep. True. I'm not so sure what Vivi can do now at this point. He's still going for the same strat. He was able to take care of the TC of Villese, the initial TC. And now he's placing a siege workshop on top of that hill. And now the question is, of course, is that going to be the game changer? What does he expect from this siege workshop? Rams now in the making. They will be nice tanking up some fire. But it needs to hurry up, because the situation on the left-hand side of the map with what Villese is doing seems to be really tight.
Yeah, the entire economy on the left side with the left town center of Fat Dragon's basically useless. The gold miners are... You don't need that much gold, so that's not too good. So the economy of Fat Dragon not looking good at all.
Yeah, it looks really bad. So just as a clarification, the villager numbers on the right hand side of the map are the real ones. On the left hand side it's a mixture of fishing boats and villagers and whatnot next to the civs. For the viewers to understand, this is the precise number. This is the whole number of all the units contributing for the economy. And speaking of economy, I see a lot of villagers dying at this point for Vivi. And not too much resistance. What is Vivi doing at this point? Not even reacting anymore.
That's a good question. What is he doing? He's not reacting at all, and I think that's probably going to be the game. Especially as Villese goes into Imperial Age.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be the end of that. Wow. I mean... Okay, it was a nice try by Vivi. It has not worked. Not so sure what he should have changed about his procedure. I mean, now that he has ramps, it could be a nice addition, but it's definitely too late. But was it maybe even the bad choice to go for Spanish to begin with? I think so. It was a good start, because he was able to deal a lot of damage, but I know, even the remaining cogs that he has, every time he uses them, at the end they die. Not because of the war guys, but it's more about the composition, the way how those monks are working. They're fairly safe all at the same time. It just does not work for Vivi here, who is going for guard tower, but at the same time Villese is about to reach PLH, and I think it might be the end of that then.
I don't think the Spanish was a bad pick, but I do think the Japanese might have been a better pick, or the best pick for this map. But also, I think that Villese just played a little bit better this game, was watching his units more, had better reactions, and I think he won for that reason.
Yeah, I think so as well. Now in PLH, Do we see any kind of reaction? Not yet. Instead, actually, Vivi at least gets 3 monks down. That is something. But besides that, 62 villagers for Vivi, 91 for Villese. Yeah, I'm not so sure, man. How long does Vivi try to continue here?
Sorry about that if that got into my mic. That was my mom
All good, all good.
telling me to clean my room. But that's okay.
There
Here's
we
the
go.
GG.
It is GG. Well, nice, nice. Well done by Villese. As you said, he actually also played better. All the reactions, the way he handled his economy, the way he handled his villages when he was raided, the way he took over the navy. It's actually well done, and Vivi couldn't do anything about it anymore.
Yeah, and that's going to tie up the series 1-1.
Let's go in there right away. Here we are. And yeah, indeed, this is where we are now.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third game in the series between Villese and Fat Dragon. It's tied 1-1, and we're on the map Water Nomad. I'm joined here with Demise Red.
Yes, sir. Here we are. And let's make it happen here. We see the dogs are in the making, the TCs are in the making. On the right-hand side, we got Vivi with the melee. Bottom right-hand side. Yeah, good spot for his TC. He's close by to the woodline. He has some gold. He even has some stone. The gold and the wood, of course, being the most important thing. And obviously, the huge amount of water buffaloes. Make use of that. Get as many of them as possible to have a nice eco in the beginning. We have Villese on the left-hand side, and he has chosen an interesting spot, just close by to the wood line. No direct gold attached to it. Gold's actually to the left-hand side, top left-hand side, and on the right-hand side.
Yeah, the most important resource, of course, is to get onto the wood line,
Yep.
which both players have done. Both players finding quite a bit of water buffalo, although it looks like Fat Dragon might have found more water buffalo, which would be a good advantage for him.
Yeah, he currently has 15 under control, I guess, and for Villese he has 6 only. Yeah, at least for now.
Yeah, for now. There are 4 next to him. I wonder if he will find them. And yeah, both players getting started, taking their box turtles right away, or their deep fish, either one. And that should lead to a pretty quick start here, and I expect to see some very aggressive feudal ages from these players.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be like that. The fuel age will be sick. Now, of course, with the Malians, you have quite some nice start at the beginning. You have this advantage. That's yeah, your eco in general is just superb in that very concern. But with melee, you can click up faster, obviously. So maybe the timing advantage is going to matter in this case. We'll see, of course. For now, everyone is trying his best to step up his economy. And Vivi is now having this one villager in the middle of the map. I'm curious what he's going to do with that one. Maybe scout a bit more, get a couple of more water buffaloes. We'll see, of course. But make sure that... currently just still 4 water buffaloes for Villese. And yeah, 13 for Vivi, but they all have the water. That's the most important thing when it comes to the food income. And the rest of the villagers taking as much wood as possible.
Yeah, speaking of the economy of these civilizations, so we know the Malay will get a 2 villager advantage once they click up because of how quick they research. But also that the Malians is a good choice because they save so much wood in the early game. And I saw Villese going up with the second dock very early because of those wood savings, and that second dock is in the ideal position. I've never seen a dock this good on Water Nomad.
Yeah, this is awesome actually. It's a paradise, so to speak. So therefore, that's going to be a nice one. And Villese has clicked up first. Vivi, though, with the melee is going to be up first. There's quite some difference.
Yeah, even a third dock for Villese before the second is up for Fat Dragon. So it goes to show you those wood savings.
Yeah, that's insane, man. He's gonna have a sick economy. He's also on gold now, so he's gonna prepare for the feudal age. So is Vivi. Vivi will have a few seconds advantage. Maybe gonna be up with a boat more in comparison. You can start attacking earlier. We'll see about this one. They're on the way.
Yeah, so 2 docks for Fat Dragon, but he's gonna be building faster. He's gonna be up to the next age faster, and Villese will go with 3 docks in defense.
Yeah, that's really important. If you have 3 dogs like that as defense, you have a clear home advantage when it comes to that very situation. So you can actually allow Vivi to come here and possibly even be successful about it. Now that they are in the next stage, especially here Vivi is producing a fire galley. That's his first move. So we'll not see the beautiful demo ships. Maybe also because they are nerfed, and during this tournament at least, this could be one aspect to it. But he still does one regardless. That's the interesting thing. And Villese, what is he gonna do? Fire galley, and demolition raft in the making.
Yeah, and I know that Fat Dragon's going to go on the aggressive here, but I just hope he researches Loom at some point.
I was going to say, I just checked his villages, right? He doesn't have Loom, man. What is this? If there's a single demolition raft, it could be really nasty.
And here we go. Fat Dragon going to build his first fire galleys. Going to move out across the map, hope to find something. And probably going to go for those fishing ships right away.
Yep, it's happening. He's moving forward now. See how and where he's gonna attack like that, and how much vision does he have? Not too much. Vivi is now understanding there are the fishing boats, and the demolition raft is about to not do anything. Not yet, at least. Demolition raft versus demolition raft, that's a good one. And now 2 fire galleys versus 1, but also of course home advantage for Villese. He will be able to reinforce quite nicely. 2 versus 2 now inside of the base of Villese. This is how it is, at least for now.
Yeah, and another defensive advantage, you could always repair up your ships or bring them towards the town center. So there's a lot of defensive advantage on this map.
Yeah, for certain, for certain. This is it. Vivi is now retreating slightly, waiting for more boats to arrive, and maybe attack at multiple spots at the same time, as it seems. Gonna get Vilese's attention on the right hand side. 1 successful explosion. Vivi is about to lose his first galley there, but we'll check it out.
Fat Dragon trying to put the pressure on Villese. So far, it hasn't killed any units, but is putting the pressure on, so that's good.
Yeah, so far it's looking nice here. He indeed builds up more pressure like that, but Villese is still able to save himself. If you look at the HP of the boats, yeah, it seems that Vivi is going to lose most of his boats like that and needs to retreat. Once again, he lost one here. 2-0 KD, going well for Villese.
Yeah, very well. A Fat Dragon trying to dive in to kill that fire galley so it won't be repaired, and at the same time losing a lot of HP. That's a nice demo hit. Gonna take off a lot of HP of those two. I like Fat Dragon's bringing his galleys back to repair, but that is kind of killing a little bit of his momentum.
Yeah, for sure. He tries to play it as safe as possible with his aggressive stance, but he's also able to avoid the demolition raft of Villese. That was actually nicely done. Still doesn't change the fact that 1 more galley went down. KD is now equal, but Villese still has the upper hand when it comes to this defense. Vivi is trying to push through. So as you said, repairing your fire gates like that may kill your momentum, at least to a certain bit, and that may be the reason why Vivi is not able to push through, but he needs to do that. Now the demolition raft by Villese, well, somewhat successful.
Yeah, and it looks like slowly, Villese is going to be able to push back the galleys. Well, that said, Fat Dragon is still building quite a bit. I think it's still 3 docks versus 3 docks. I'm curious to see if either of these players is going to add a 4th dock. And actually, Blacksmith for Villese.
Yeah. They're not giving up yet, as in they don't want to change their plans, even though Villese is stockpiling a lot of food. So he might consider going to the next stage very, very soon. And I guess that will happen earlier than for Vivi, at least for now.
Yeah, Villese actually has 4 docks, so it's 4 versus 3. Here comes another demo. It's getting stuck there. Not too good.
Yeah, so we have 5 fire galleys and 2 demolition rafts, 6 now for Villese. So 8 units on water. We have 7 for Vivi. Slightly better there, the numbers for Villese. But now Vivi retreats completely, interestingly, because most of his units are low HP. We'll probably repair them. Enough time for Villese to actually click up very soon. Both pairs will click up very soon, and then Vivi would be up in the next stage. Of course, now getting a Loom. Great.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that players are bringing their fire ships back so often to repair them that there's quite a few fire ships on the field. I think that's kind of leaning itself towards demos, making the transition towards demos, which kind of leans itself towards making the transition to galleys.
Yeah, you're right. And this is exactly what is happening. Galleys now in the making here, at least for Vivi. So war galleys. And then the question is if Villese is going to do the same thing. We have to wait, of course, but Vivi is going to have the time advantage. A minute, to be precise, that he has as an advantage. And now some engagement in front of his base. One successful demolition raft. And maybe a second one on the way, but is being blocked by its own friendly boats. And it seems that Vivi is able to protect himself, at least for now.
Yeah, as far as the raw military numbers, we have 6 fire galleys, 2 demo ships for Vivi, and then 8 and 2 for Villese, with looks like no galleys.
Yeah, there we go. So another dock for Vivi here, war galley in the making, and then the transition will be real. I'm asking myself if that is going to matter, because Villese is still not in Castle Age, obviously. Maybe the Warriors will make the difference, and with that one, Vivi could create a momentum with which he could then build up more and more pressure. But I'm not so sure if that's gonna be enough. Not so sure yet.
Well, here's that early war galley upgrade. I think that's definitely going to matter. Here comes 2 demos. The demo's still doing pretty good. Fat Dragon not really microing his war galleys enough. But either way, this early war galley is going to do a lot of damage. And let's see if they can get onto the gold.
They are there now. The gold is now being harassed. There we go. There we go. The Vills are retreating. Wow, that was actually way easier, or at least more simple than I thought it would be. It actually worked like a charm here. We have fire ships and war galleys, and it was enough at least to harass the villagers of Villese on gold. And they must retreat to the south now to find some other resources, some other place to get some gold. Looking nice. Bodkin arrow also in the making for Vivi. He makes use of the advantage.
And now Fat Dragon, 5 galleys on the field, gonna get Bodkin arrow. I think in this balance, the galleys are stronger against fire ships than normally in Rise of Rajas.
Yeah. True indeed. Moonfollower, what's up? But does he have a fast fire, could it says? He doesn't have Brazier if he gets in. Not so sure. But for now, we see that the fire ships and the war guys are in nice composition here to push Villese back, even though he's now having his own units like that. And he's doing one thing, he's keeping those navy units inside of his docks, and then he will just get out once he has a nice amount of boats. So he's trying to at least allow Vivi to go in. But there we go. Now a lot of units of Villese are about to go out here. Numbers seem to be quite equal, but there are also a couple of demolition ships here on the side of Villese. It could go any way at this moment. It seems that Vivi is now retreating.
Yeah, a little bit different strategy. Fat Dragon with a lot of investment into the galley, whereas Villese has added 3 town centers, which is a huge wood investment. So I'm wondering if Villese is going to be able to defend.
It's a good question if it's going to be worth it to do this. I think for now it's working. We have to keep in mind Malian's bonus and whatnot. It will be okay for him, I guess. But then again, he lost all of his navy here. He now has 7 units. He has 15 of Vivi. That was a weird fight that Villese took. And now it will be his time to struggle, I guess, as Vivi is approaching forward. He senses that he has a momentum. He senses
I think this is a desperation move from Villese. He's got 3 demos just sitting there. It's going to be so hard for fire ships to engage these galleys with all these trees around.
Yeah, there we go. The boats are there now. At least one war galley was taken down, but okay. It's 2 good explosions, I would say, but still not enough. And potentially Vivi is going to be able to kite this one even if he has to. Nicely done. So many units here for Vivi. He does a great job here. It seems that Villese is not able to do too much about it. Now the dominance is extremely clear. 6 units versus 18. Vivi with the clear upper hand, even getting careening now. And the entire eastern side of Vilese's base is now the hands of Vivi. He might attack from somewhere else or just push through. At least for now it seems that he wants to push through. And it seems that Villese doesn't have too much to offer.
Yeah, I just want to point out, I don't really agree with careening. It seems like a pretty useless upgrade right now.
Ah, okay. Did you say you are not agreeing with the careening upgrade?
Yeah, it just seems pretty useless.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, both do it. Both players say, okay, it's time for it, interestingly. Why would you say it's not adequate?
Because for Fat Dragon, there's no units that are going to be doing pierce armor. Pierce damage.
Well,
The fire ships, I think, do melee damage.
Yeah. Okay.
But either way, I think Fat Dragon is going to be able to kill a lot of villagers. Villese did get up in villagers by maybe 2 or 3 with those extra town centers, but now it's going to drop back down.
Okay. The question now is, of course, what does Villese do about it? What is he gonna do? I mean, what does he have to offer? I mean, was it the right decision to go for these 3 TCs? He could afford it, but it didn't give him too much about it. I mean, 54 to 52 villages. It's not that he is booming away now. And the Navy force of Vivi seems to be unstoppable at this point. More and more units, even now, demolition ships. Could be tough. What does Villese do now? What kind of options does he even have?
Yeah, he's going to have to somehow take out this navy, and it's going to be GG right there. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, or he's just gonna call it, man. Didn't work.
Yeah, I think that adding town centers when you're getting actively raided because you don't have enough army is a pretty bad idea.
Yeah, at least in this situation, it seemed to be extremely bad. Like I've said, he was able to afford it. He had decent numbers of navy at the point where he added those CCs, but he went into a really questionable fight where he lost most of his navy. He went down to, I don't know, 4 units or so. Yes, 15. And all of a sudden, he was on the back foot, and ever since, Vivi was constantly pushing and pushing, and it just didn't stop. And Villese understood that with his TCs, he couldn't even achieve too much. He at least saved those resources. Okay, we understand, you can garrison the villagers, but didn't win him the game right away.
Alright, welcome everyone. This could be match point for our player here, Vivi. He's going against Villese, who had the hot hand coming into the series. We're going to see a little bit of an eagle scuffle right away.
Red with the advantage, Villese that is.
Villese is playing as the Mayans, and Fat Dragon playing as the Aztecs, which means if this were to go to the last game, then we would see, what, Slavs and... Am I mistaken?
And the Huns, right?
And the Huns, okay.
There we go. No, all good. Alright, so another engagement. Vivi doesn't care too much that he is definitely lower in HP. Okay, that's an early disadvantage for the Chinese player. Okay. If he wants to go with that, fine. Why not? So this is the situation that we're in. We have this huge Acropolis, just like in Athens. And then we have Villese on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, I'm sorry, Vivi on the left-hand side. And yeah, if you look at this, you can even think of walling yourself up, at least according to the Arabia standards. What Vivi has to offer with this map, this is considered as wallable even. Not so sure if that's the right idea, but considering the fact that both are actually quite aggressive players, especially Vivi, could be even an advantage to wall yourself up, or at least to do something to prevent towers from going up. And especially with this kind of distance, men-at-arms also function really nicely here. So it could very well start with men-at-arms into archers, men-at-arms into towers. I think these are the options that they could use for the early game.
Yeah, I think this map could favor either the Aztecs or the Mayans. Really just depends how you play it. I do have to say that Villese, so his main stone is a little bit towards his opponent. That's very important for the Mayans. And then the next closest stone will be directly south to his base, which is kind of far away. And so it won't be the easiest thing for Villese to get his stone, especially because built that house right where the mining camp should probably go.
Yeah, that's really awkward there. As I said, this could be quite crucial, for sure. And the eagle fight still hasn't stopped. Villese is determined to take down Vivi's god at this point. He's just chasing it. There we go. He came close.
Might get it.
Yeah,
it's
one
gonna be
more
close.
and then he's down. I think it can happen. Very, very likely that it's going to happen because every corner he takes will bring Villese closer. And yeah, that would be, of course, really bad for him.
I just want to say, I have no clue how that mechanic works at all, but it's a beautiful mechanic.
You mean that you can come closer, or which?
Yeah, the corner thing.
Yeah, yeah. I also don't know how it works. Probably, my guess is that you can travel from left to right. No, from north to south, it's more difficult. It takes more time, I mean. And left to right, no, actually, left to right takes more time. And south to north takes less time because those squares that we have on Age of Empires, they are not real squares, but they are, you know, I know how to say it in English, but I guess the north and the south, at least visually, is closer. And therefore, if you run and run a corner, you somewhat... No, I don't know. The more I explain it, doesn't make sense, man.
It's beautiful,
Okay.
but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it sure is. So we should have just left it like that. It is beautiful. And also Villese is now taking a couple of turkeys here. I think they belong to Vivi. At least he has 2 of them. And also, Villese has done something really, really Nomad type of, which is this aggressive walling. Just put the walls as close as possible to your opponents. Now even some villager fight in the north. We have barracks in the south. A lot of things are happening, man.
No loom for Vivi, so he's gonna lose the villager. What are these walls from Villese? He's walling in his opponent.
Yeah, man. It's insane. It can work even. And he does it. One more palisade, and there we go. At least the north is now blocked. The left-hand side is obviously still open, but man, he's just walling them in.
Yeah, those walls are going to be very beneficial going into the feudal age. Castle age, you can place towers wherever you want. Choose where you want to attack. The barracks is in the south, so that could be some good early aggression. But these are some nice walls from Villese early game.
Most certainly. Villese is also the first one to click up. And he has 22 villagers for the records. And he is on gold now. I'm not so sure if he's gonna go for... Nah, he's definitely gonna go for militia here. Probably mid-arms, obviously. Interesting build order, though. And potentially just gonna add archers as soon as possible. We'll see. Eagle fight still not over. Seems that... Ooh, both scouts are dead now. At least that is something. But still a disadvantage for Vivi, who has lost a villager early on in the game.
Yeah, and here comes the first few militia from Villese. Villese can, of course, delete any of his walls and attack from that angle. In fact, Villese is going to go to the north. And I find that an interesting decision because the south would have looked like the better place to attack first.
I think he has some mind games prepared. He's going to the north with his military. Not even entirely. One militia is now going to the south. And the villagers, of course, that are going to drop a tower. Obviously to deny a possible woodland as well, most importantly the gold. Or is it like that because they're now moving away? What are they going to do? Ah, there we go. The tower is now going up. Yeah, that's it. Tower of the gold.
This game might be a quick one because, I mean, Villese is going to tower on the gold. Fat Dragon's not reacting to it at all. Fat Dragon hardly has any food in the bank for his 5 militia men-at-arms rush, which normally you do as Aztecs. But yeah, here comes that tower.
So at least he has the water, right? But where's the stone of Vivi now that he can make use of? There's not a single stone pile that he can make use of at this point. Tower's up now. The villagers are walled in, the men-at-arms are prepared, and if Villese does it correctly, he won't come too close to the TC, and he is even able to kill a villager, and all the men-at-arms are still alive. Crazy.
Yeah, all of them are still alive. Fat Dragon might actually be able to wall the men-at-arms in with the town center, but hasn't chosen to do so. Now Fat Dragon can build another mining camp onto the gold.
And needs to be careful because Villese has one man-at-arms that is really low HP, but he has already a 4th one prepared, and now he can engage and probably win this one easily. As a 5th man-at-arms is in the making. There we go, and now it's time for the engagement. Vivi is now retreating. It's nice macro by both of the players to react adequately at the same time. I guess an arch range, there we go, for Vivi is now in the making as well, for the sake of dealing with the issue that is now becoming a huge problem in front of Vivi space.
Kind of opposite playstyles. The Mayans is making more men-at-arms, and then the Aztecs is going to go with the archers first.
Exactly, you would expect it to be the other way around, especially knowing that the archers of the Mayans are cheaper. And still, it's really interesting to see it. The tower is now going up at a really good spot for Villese. If he really commits to that, he does so. Probably it'll go up, and Vivi is now retreating from his woodline. A lot of economical damage here.
Yeah, a lot of economical damage. Normally, I think that Villese would be well ahead as far as the economy is concerned in this kind of game. However, we do have those fishing ships for Fat Dragon, which do help make up for quite a bit. I think Villese maybe not doing his homework, not docking those little islands, because that would really give him a big boost to his economy.
Yeah, if we look at that, they have somewhat of an equal... no, actually not. I just look at the wood income. Still, Villese at least has more food income, at least in comparison. So he is able to actually... if you look at the other incomes, yeah, he focuses on the food, but there's more gold income for Vivi. And that may matter now. We'll see, of course.
Another big engagement on the left side. You have a few archers there, but so many men-at-arms of Villese.
Yeah, but he's downhill. It's a bad fight that he's taking there. He should maybe go more aggressive and climb on that hill or retreat. He needs to decide. But lower hill attacks, of course, not going to be too nice. He could now engage, get one if he wanted to, but he's losing the men-at-arms. Now there are a lot of archers with fletching, of course. Needs to be careful.
Well, it seems to me that Villese is losing a little bit of momentum as these archers come out. As Fat Dragon stabilizes. I'm curious to see what Villese's next move is going to be. He's got an archer range back at home and has a forward dock.
Now the forward dock is going to be interesting. Fire galley now in the making. Vivi also has his own fire galley currently, and as I said, the forward dock in the north could be interesting. Both pairs are trying to do similar things concerning the water, and at the same time, Villese also going for skirmishes, but currently has no fletching. Needs to be careful. The army composition will be superior to the one that Vivi is going to present to us, because only going for archers, that's not going to work. And he's also housed, by the way. Vivi also going for scale mail armor. Is he going to go for eagles? Yep, he is. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so the eagles would be good against the skirmishers, but those men-at-arms are so good against the eagles. So we see different army compositions. Those walls for Villese still doing him quite a bit of benefit here, as Villese is just going to place up a tower right behind them.
Like I said, he could even delete them if he wanted to and then push through. It's totally up to his choice, as he is controlling the game like that with his early palisades. That is going to limit the area of movement for Vivi here. He's always forced to go to the left-hand side and then spread out like that. And that is, of course, highly awkward for him. But now that he has the eels with +1, I really like to see this one. He will be tanky enough to actually deal with enemy skirmishes. He needs to be careful when it comes to engaging with the men-at-arms. But I don't think that Villese is going to make more of them. So once he takes care of the 4 remaining men-at-arms, it can be nice. Tower now in the making for Villese. If this one goes up, could be a nice opening for him to march forward even further on.
Alright, this engagement is so crucial. That tower might be up just quick enough to be able to support in this engagement, but it looks like Fat Dragon might have enough army. Not enough to prevent the tower from going up.
Yeah, that is of course really bad for Vivi, because Villese now once again created momentum, so to speak, with which he can push on forwards, and that will be really tough to deal with now.
However, Fat Dragon with a ton of food in the bank, he's still collecting a lot of fish from those fishing ships. Villese, I don't think, has found the dock quite yet.
Now there we go. Now Villese has now spotted the fishing boats, starts to harass it, and besides that, Villese also going for paired archer armor. What is Vivi gonna do about this one now? He's producing more and more eagles. But yeah, I mean that's obviously gonna be nice, because the eagles are quite useful in a situation like that where you face archers and skirmishers. So he needs more time. That's the main thing.
And what a beautiful tower from Vivi. I think so far Villese hasn't done any critical damage to Fat Dragon, to Fat Dragon's economy. Every tower gets worse and worse, but if Fat Dragon can stop this right here and go up to the castle age sooner, he might be in a good position to come back.
This will be so tough, man, this entire situation. I mean, it's a good one that he has those defensive towers. This is definitely gonna slow down Vilese's push. But all in all, Villese has everything under control, I feel, because yeah, he's just surrounded his opponents. Some crucial spots. Where is the income for Vivi? He has gold income to the left-hand side. What else does he have? No stone, nothing like that, and not even the biggest amount of gold that he has access to. But he's at least going for a cast stage. This could open up more possibilities.
Yeah, and luckily, Fat Dragon able to keep 4 of those fishing ships alive, which is so important considering how many farms Fat Dragon has lost. But that's just going to be barely enough food income to keep villagers going, maybe get an upgrade or 2 in Castle Age.
Yeah, true. Though he doesn't have wheelbarrow, by the way. Vivi, while he goes to cast stage, Villese gets it before clicking up. Yeah, that is going to be at least one bit of difference. And another barracks for Vivi, by the way, so definitely going to see more and more eagles in this game. Nothing too surprising with the Aztecs, I would say. And maybe he would even add a siege workshop with rams to take down those towers.
Alright, so big raid for Villese coming around the backside. Let's see if he's going to be able to get any villagers. I don't know if that's going to be enough eagles to clean this up, but the men-at-arms are kind of lagging behind a little bit. Here they come in.
Yeah. They're also not full HP, so it could work if he does it correctly with the eagles. 2 eagles already down, though.
Yeah, lack of micro with the eagles. Finally, the eagles going to target down the men-at-arms, but they are downhill, and...
Well, at least no more men-at-arms survived, but still, the eagles are down as well. Really bad.
But here comes the men-at-arms around the back, and that's about going to be... Oh, they're going to go down to the skirms, too. Hero skirms.
Yeah, wow. Those are legit hero skirms, doing a lot of damage here. Eagle Warrior now for Vivi incoming, while Villese is going for the next stage. But Villese is the aggressor. Villese also has more villagers. And he has a wheelbarrow here, so quite an advantage. Even though he's the one going for cast stage and Vivi is already in cast stage. We'll see if Vivi is gonna add more TCs even to secure more area once he wins it, of course. But I feel that there's a bigger need for Siege Workshop. There we go, Siege Workshop now has been built and he's indeed going for the Rams.
I have to say, I think that maybe Fat Dragon should have waited to use those eagles until after he got the eagle upgrade. Maybe when those men-at-arms came in on the left side, used a few villagers to help out in the fight. But now Villese is getting some time to go up to the next age himself. Let's see if Fat Dragon can do the damage before then. Maybe remove some of these towers.
Yeah. True. So, Vivi has no stone, indeed, but he has the market. He could get some resources needed for TCs if that is his plan. But I think it's going to be more aggressive. He has more and more eagles. I think he's going to stay on a single TC, at least for now. And if needed, build more rams at the same time. And make use of the eagles that he has. With those eagles, he will now be just able to just raid as much as possible. Let's call it like this. That's the plan. And Villese is going for his own Eagle Warrior. So Eagle Fest is something that we will witness most likely.
Yeah, both players on even villagers at this stage, which is kind of surprising, although we have Wheelbarrow for Villese. We also, I think, have a few fishing ships working for Fat Dragon. And I have to say, the Aztec Eagles should be better at this stage of the game because they are created 15% faster.
Yeah, that is going to be quite interesting. So people are asking what to do with his TCs. Well, if he wins it, I mean, he has the Rams to begin with. This area could be quite useful. I'm just saying, just to secure some more grounds. But not so sure if this is Vivi's playstyle. He's just going to march forward with his Eagles. Of course, in the late game, the Man's Eagles with El Dorado will have a nice time here facing the Garland or Garlic Wars of the Aztecs, but we will see if it even goes there, because I now feel that Villese might be more vulnerable than one could think, because he's up a bit later, he has less eagles, we're talking about 14 to 9 now, so it might be that Vivi could do something about it.
And it looks like Villese losing all of his positional advantage. All the towers are going to go down. There's 5 villagers in the north, which are being attacked immediately by Fat Dragon. That's going to be 5 dead villagers. Villese is losing ground in a hurry. However, Longswordsman is coming in.
Yeah, Longswordsman will be helpful, of course, as a nice counter to the Eagles. I still think on an open map like this, you can somewhat avoid contact to the long swordsman if needed, because you have the faster units. But still, then again, if Villese builds up pressure, and if he's the one being the aggressor, then this could of course force Vivi to engage. That would be the ideal scenario, but as you've mentioned, Villese is actually about to lose the control, these surrounding the base of Vivi.
Yeah, so if Fat Dragon stays where he is right now, then Villese will have time to be able to make this long swordsman transition. Hopefully just have a few in the army to help sway the tide. They do so much damage against Eagles. Let's see how this fight goes.
Now there we go. Already a bad engagement, I see. The Eagle went down. Already the sign, seeing that Vivi is retreating like that, should boost Villese's morale here. Because he knows that Vivi clearly understands that these long swordsmen can be super dangerous. Vivi now going for squires, by the way, so maybe that's the idea. Avoid contact, be faster than your opponents, and maybe go for a counter raid, and that is exactly what's going to happen. Vivi does not engage anymore. He wants to go to the back part of Villese's base and kill a couple of fills there. There are a couple of spots. The woodline might be vulnerable, but besides that, I don't see too many exposed villagers.
A nice play from Villese, bringing those long swordsmen back at precisely the right time to prevent the raid. I'd like to see some players adding town centers just for pure protection value. But we haven't seen that yet.
Definitely. Protection value would be so important. But then again, are they able to afford it? Well, Villese is, who has now 325 stone, by the way. That seems suspicious if you ask me. And 0 for Vivi. So we'll see where this one's gonna go. I mean, interestingly, I sense the castle will most likely go up. There are great spots to drop one.
Yeah, and if the castle gets up, Plumed Archers are pretty good against Eagle Warriors, and they're gonna be pretty good against anything the Aztecs have to offer, really.
Yeah, that's gonna be quite sick. It will be a tough time for Vivi to actually go through all of this. And if you just look at what they're doing, I see archers for Vivi in the making. And for Villese, it's just more and more eagles. He has a nice amount of long swordsmen, and he's about to pressure the gold of Vivi. This is gonna matter so much.
Yeah, and now it looks like Villese having the momentum once again. So nice momentum swings this game. I think that always makes for a really great game.
Yeah, it's also quite interesting to see that Vivi still doesn't have +2 on his eagles. I think he might underestimate the importance of that. Even though he's the one chasing, even though he has the numbers on his side, I believe that Villese's army with +2, Eagle Warriors with +2, is just way more convenient to work with them. And now, on top of this one, Villese is now inside of the base of Vivi with the Mangonel, Long Swordsman, Eagles. It'll be tough, because Vivi now needs a lot of crossbowmen actually. At least. Do something here. Another huge engagement on the right hand side, by the way.
Yeah, and it looks like Villese is gonna win this fight.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me too much. I mean, there were a couple of long swordsmen involved, and of course, he had to take upgrades, and it is GG.
And I don't know about you, but I'm excited to get to the last game. Always we get to the last game in our series.
Life, man.
Alright, I'm in. Oh, game's over! No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, for a second, man. For a second, you got me there. Okay, it's starting now for me as well. Come on, man. Go.
And I can tell you just from the first few seconds, this is a pretty good start for Villese. He didn't kill any villagers, but he idled a few villagers. Fat Dragon. Now Fat Dragon's building a barracks with three villagers. That's not what you want to do. These 3 villagers not being very efficient, building the same building at the same time.
Capture Age crashed for me, man.
Oh, again.
Hey, I don't know why this happens, man. This is such... Oh, no, it's working. It didn't crash anymore. Okay, let's go. No.
And now Villese killing 1 villager. This is going to be a very hard defense for Fat Dragon. He's had so much idle time with these villagers, inefficient time. He's lost a villager. Still these 3 villagers, 4 villagers building 1 building. Just look at the development from both bases for players. It's completely different. I don't know if Vivi plays deathmatch so much, or he's just had a really bad start.
Okay, I'm in now. And I've now understood that pressing F12 solves a lot of issues. Well, here we are. It's I didn't update the score. I will do it in a second. Yeah, it's looking sick now. Just trying to process everything that is happening. I see a lot of Halberdiers on the left-hand side, together with a couple of SOs, and then a whole lot of Paladinos. as well as heavy calf archers. This engagement might be better for Villese, I'm just saying, a little educated guess from my part. And I also see a couple of dogsmen. What is the deal with the dogsmen? Do you think demo ships? Do you think that is going to happen?
I have no clue, but I think that Fat Dragon's about to be really surprised with how much army Villese has. I don't know why Villese hasn't been raiding Fat Dragon this whole time. He's been kind of sitting back at home, but look at how much army's out for Villese.
Ooh. Yeah, man. If you look at the army numbers, that is absolutely sick. 46 Paladinos, 36 Halberdiers, 34 Calf Archers. We see 2 Demolition Bolts going crazy at this point. 44 Halberdiers, 6 Champions, 1 Boyar, my god, and a Hussar. And 5 SOs. Definitely more army for Villese. 129, 130 versus 56. This game might be over very, very quick. What is happening to Vivi, man? Is this his preparation? Is this his idea? Because the Paladins are now approaching. This might be super, super crazy here. Super dangerous. It's happening, man. Paladins are in.
Yeah, Fat Dragon needs to stabilize. He's going to lose a lot of army. Luckily, Fat Dragon has 3 castles which are up, which maybe can buy him some time. He needs to mass his army. And it's just all going down to all these paladins. There's so many out in the field. Fat Dragon needs to mass his army up and keep it all together.
Wow. What in the world is happening, man? Look at the pop difference, man. Do you see the pop difference, man?
I don't think... It might be Fat Dragon doesn't play too much deathmatch. His base design just looks so poor.
Yeah, 100 more units for Villese at this point. On a single TC, okay. But, yeah, I mean, looking at this... Oh, on a 3 TCs, what am I saying? But, still, it's strange. It's strange. Like I've said, or like you've said as well, it seems that Vivi might not be super prepared for this.
And, yeah, I think this game's pretty much over. There's so many units on the right side for Villese that are going to go for a big raid. Luckily, again, Fat Dragon does have 5 castles in the middle.
Yeah, at least that is super.
I'm guessing he probably wants to go for Boyars.
I hate Boyars so much, man. I fail to understand their real purpose because whatever people say, I still don't feel they're justified in many of the situations that we can see them in. But yeah, it seems that Red doesn't care too much about it. Villese just pushing forwards. And it seems successful. And to the south, man, what is there, man? I saw TC a few seconds ago. It's gone now. Vivi is losing grounds heavily.
Yeah, he is going to take a few good siege honor shots in the back, though, killing so many cavalry archers. Oh my gosh.
I mean, okay, that was terrible for Villese, but then again, you know, at least Villese is still up there. We're talking about 88 units, military units versus 57. Vivi is now trying to maximize the numbers on this side once again, but he's still on 2 figures with his pop cap, with his population, whereas Villese is on 150-ish. Looking still better for the Sonic there.
Yeah. Hopefully Fat Dragon can just keep spamming these halbs and keep his castles up. If he can keep the castles up, maybe he'll have an okay shot at this game, but...
Yeah, man. Not looking tough. But then again, I feel that we might enter the mid part of the game very soon because I now feel that the Halberdiers are at least able to tell Villese to back off. And if you look at the gold income, at least they are heavily on the goal trying to milk it as much as possible. For that one, of course, they need to win more ground and then produce more of the units. But Villese now needs to be careful not to waste his paladins. And he does nicely to take on the siege. Oh, just interesting choice by Vivi not engaging right away with his halberdiers, but he's there now. A lot of SOs went down. It was a bad move for Vivi, I guess, in the middle of the map. Yeah,
it looks like Vivi is stabilizing. However, I think this is the calm before the storm because Villese has over double the villager numbers, up to 92. It's almost going to be fully boomed in a second, and it's going to be ready to start making a lot of military.
This was strange, man. He just gave him his SO. Yeah, man, it was strange. But he still has more and more SOs prepared. But like nobody said, it's just going to be a bit of a tough one to actually, you know, survive this, especially if your economy is just 50% of what your opponent has. Will be a tough one. Will be a tough one. The SOs are still there, completely unprotected. A couple of halberdiers just there. There's maybe enough to deal with a few paladins. Left hand side is also some stuff happening. That is just Villese holding on now, dealing with the pressure. Vivi is trying to push through. Oh, no, he's ignoring it.
Oh,
Why didn't he just go into those SOs? Okay, I mean...
Why do you have
fine.
so many SOs when you're going against mainly Paladin? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he just, you know, wants to reach his critical mass where he can maybe...
Destroy a castle in one hit.
I know, yeah. Oh my god, man. Oh. Nice demolition explosion. Still happening, still not over. But I feel that Vivi should get this, despite... I mean, Villese should get this despite Vivi being able to just spread out a tiny bit more once again. But I am not so confident that the army of Vivi is going to win it.
Well, Fat Dragon's done an okay job building economy behind this. He's only 30 villagers... Yeah, well, only 35 villagers behind, but I just don't see the farms from him. But then again, these slabs, maybe... You know, maybe with this army composition it can work. Maybe he can have those slab farmers working extra hard. I don't know. We've got to keep all these siege onagers alive. 17 siege onagers.
Oh my god, that's so much money, so much gold. Crazy stuff, man. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Ooh, he took out all of his old boyars, man, instead of the paladins. So awkward, man. So awkward. And the SOs are dying, man. The SOs are falling apart.
I think that's it.
Them, man. Damn, man. Took down his own boyars with a massive blast of SOs, and then lost those SOs on top of it. Yeah, 9 military units versus 79.
Oh man, I just, at the beginning of this matchup, I just didn't see the purpose of the siege onagers.
Yeah. Especially vs the paladins. I mean, versus the care fighters, okay, but you have so many more mounted units of the Huns. It's a tough one, and especially as long as there's gold, it would just super fine for the Huns player. He should have waited to make use of the SOs later on in this game, if at all. But this is the very situation that he's in now, and I feel that this might be over for him.
Yeah, and with that, if that is the case, and Villese is going to win this game, Villese is going to continue his hot streak.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, for sure. And what about Vivi? Did he has 2 wins and 1 loss currently, and this would be a second loss then?
Yeah, that would mean that it would go down to the last few games.
Yeah. Okay. So they would be in an equal situation if Villese won this. It would be crazy. And Villese had the toughest opponents in this tournament, I feel. And he is able to deliver such great games. It's unbelievable. Really great what he does here. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, and I think it goes to show you how important it is to be surrounded by your peers that are, you know, of equally high level. And equally as motivated as you. A lot of the Finnish players, the Max, Rubenstock, Zupi, all of them very active and playing a lot. And that's why we're seeing so many of these Finnish players do so well. On the other hand, some of the Brazilians are maybe not as active. And, yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, there's the Suomi magic. They're also active, and they all help out each other. They're great team workers, and they learn from each other. That's definitely something that you would expect to happen. And this is the reason why Villese is able to beat Vivi in game number 5. And he wins the series, man. It's unbelievable, man. It's so crazy. He beats Viper, nearly beats Slithery, now even able to beat Vivi like that, man. Crazy. Sick performance.
Yeah, just can't wait to see him in the next round.
That's for sure, man.